Hi guys, it's Gav here from DartsPlanet.tv, and today I've got Christopher from Ochepedia on again, and he recently did a really good article on the PDC website called The Money Game, and it's all about where the rankings can tell us how players are performing now and how they've done in the past. Is that correct, Chris? Have I got that right?
Yeah, and it's also taking a look at what we can learn from that as far as predicting where they might be in the future.
Okay, brilliant. Let's get into it.
Right. So, the interesting thing about the order of merit is that because it's calculated on a 2-year rolling basis,
yeah,
players' places in the rankings often shift dramatically out of without any correlation to how they're performing in the moment.
Yeah.
Because if you think back to the 2018 World Championship, we saw two of the biggest ranking shifts that we've ever seen in darts.
Yeah, like Adrian Lewis dropping out the top 16.
Yeah, exactly, and that was just because, and it really hadn't. Obviously, the going out in the first round was a poor result for him.
Yeah.
But even if Adrian Lewis had gone as far as in the semifinal,
yeah,
his ranking would have dropped by quite a bit. Even though that would have been a fantastic result for him, just because he was the 2016 World Championship finalist.
Defending
he won 150,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Which at the time represented almost 50% of all the earnings he had collected in the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
So he needed really to reach the final just to preserve his place in the top 10 of the rankings. And on the other hand, you had Rob Cross taking home the $400,000 first prize.
Yeah.
Because that is such an enormous
increase
chunk of ranking money. It wasn't only that he won the World Championship. That guarantees him, because it's a 2-year basis on the order of merit. That guarantees him that he's basically going to be guaranteed invitations to the Premier League for the 2 years after that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed invitations to the World Series for 2 years.
Yeah.
Guaranteed invitations to a qualification for any of the World Championship events. So it's not only those $400,000. I mean, he's going to be everywhere for the next 2 years.
And it's $500,000 this year, isn't it? It's gone up to $500,000 for the winner.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of not. It's not only the money. £500,000 is an enormous amount of money.
Yeah.
But players can also look at it to the fact that if you win the World Championship, you're going to be one of the stars of darts for the next 2 years.
And it's the security, isn't it? It's your security.
You're going to be on TV every tournament. You're going to be qualified for just about every event.
Yeah.
And, the world's going to be your oyster at that point.
Can I just ask something here, though, Christopher? Because I know there's been a lot of debate on it. And I've actually covered a video in the past. I don't actually like the 2-year rolling basis, me personally, for that reason. I think it defends or helps too many top players that aren't out of form, and it's very, very difficult for new players coming through to get all the opportunities. Don't get me wrong, them players had to get there in the first place, but I think it would be much better on a 1-year rolling basis. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the PDC has sort of adjusted for that by enlarging the field on the World Championship. So even though $500,000 guaranteed for 2 years is gives the winner of that event a big advantage over the rest of them.
Yeah.
To some extent, it's earned, but the players who are now going to be part of the 96-player field for the Worlds,
yeah,
now they're going to get a guaranteed 10 or 20,000 pounds that they can carry forward for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're going to be, you can make a ranking based on some statistic, or you can make it based on how players perform when money is on the line.
Yeah.
And at some point, you have to decide how the ranking is going to be. When the last period of time at which the money you earned isn't relevant anymore.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be a little bit arbitrary. I think 2 years at least gives players the chance, if they have a good tournament 1 year or a bad tournament, they can sort of balance it out with a better performance the next year.
I don't know if there's any other sports that do this, though. It's just quite unique to darts. Is there? I don't know of any others that do it over a 2-year rolling period. Is there?
I don't know of many others that do it that way. It's just a question of if you come up with a ranking system, it's always going to be a little bit arbitrary.
Yeah.
And in any ranking system that you set up, players are going to have to work around it to try to adapt to the challenges that ranking system puts in place for them. And I think if you calculate it on a 1-year basis, you'd have players who would really struggle to recover from a poor performance in the Worlds if they had one.
Yeah.
Because then they don't have another performance at the Worlds to balance it out. So it's really just a question of, I think there are benefits to it, and there are.
Don't you think that's good in some ways? Sorry for all these. Don't you think it's good in some ways, though? But if they do win the Worlds, then have a really bad performance, it's like hard luck. Some of these others are coming through and getting that opportunity.
Well, I think the ranking in that sense could be a little bit too volatile.
Okay.
I mean, you'd have players who had a one-off success.
Okay.
And would qualify. I mean, for some players, you could get to a point in the rankings.
A bit like Kirk Shepherd all them years ago. Not like mention any names, but Kirk Shepherd come from nowhere and got to the world final against John Park, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a question of how much should that matter relative to the long run success, because obviously reaching the world final is a great achievement in its own right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's really something that should be sort of shaken off in just 1 year.
Yeah.
It's just a question of what sort of time horizon you view to be relevant to where players are right now. It could be a year and a half, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years. I mean, players will just have to adjust to that system regardless of what it is.
I'm sorry if I went off the talking point. It's just that I know that I've spoke to a lot of people about it, and a lot of people have said, "Oh, I don't like it," and I just wanted your thoughts on it. It'd actually be interesting to see the actual players involved in it, what they actually think to it as well, because it's always interesting from their perspective, isn't it?
Oh, sure. I'm sure the way they contest tournaments really has a lot to do with that. I mean, just take a look at someone like Ian White, fantastic floor player.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, he has the highest share of his earnings at the moment. 36% come from floor events of any other player in the top 32, except for.
He always goes deep, doesn't he? He's always quarters or semis or final or winning some, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And even if he doesn't get into the top 10 by virtue of winning a big TV event, all of that income he's coming in, that's coming into him in every tournament, basically guarantees that his place in the rankings is secure.
Yeah.
He's not vulnerable to any of the dramatic shifts that might happen to Adrian Lewis, or that might happen to Raymond van Barneveld coming up soon. Because he has a tiny percentage of his current earnings have come from the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
So there's a couple points in time during the year when a lot of his 2016 earnings will phase out.
Yeah.
And he'll have to come up with money to replace that very quickly.
Yeah.
It may be very challenging for him.
I'm sorry if I've gone off subject a little bit. It's just I love your thoughts on all these, as you know.
Happy to sound off a little bit on these things.
Brilliant. So should we have a look at the table that is on your PDC article, and which is in front of me right now?
Right. I've broken down players' order of merit totals at the moment by the sources of their income. So the player with the highest share of his income coming from the World Championships is obviously Rob Cross, because that's £400,000 right there.
Yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, you take a look at Raymond van Barneveld. He's got a World Championship semifinal and a quarterfinal under his belt. That's almost half of his earnings right there, just from 2 events.
Yeah.
So it's a very sort of unbalanced financial profile.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's great to have those enormous prizes from the World Championships.
Yeah, definitely.
But that really puts the pressure on a player to repeat those performances every time they come
around. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at all these stats as you're talking to me. So you viewers, I'm not sort of blank. I'm just finding them really interesting. You're going to love them when you see them on the actual article itself.
Yeah, any of these players, I mean, you can take a look at how their order of merit breaks down, and you can see where their strengths are.
Yeah.
Obviously, a player like Ian White, excellent on the floor.
Yep.
You can take a look at someone like Joe Cullen.
Yeah.
He has an enormous share of his income coming from the European tour.
Yeah, he does well on that, doesn't he?
The European, same thing with Peter Wright. 28% of his, I think it's about 700,000 pounds on the order of merit come from the European tour.
Yeah.
That's a great benefit to players' order of merit totals, just because if they win a European tour event or come or do really well,
yeah,
you know, that's a lot of income relative to the number of darts you're throwing.
Yeah, definitely. Just shows how important all these others are, isn't it? You know, you've got people like Anderson and a few of the others that don't even go on the European tour, haven't you?
Yeah, he's just in another couple of weeks, Gary Anderson will have none of his income coming from the European tour.
Yeah.
But he balances that out by winning a whole bunch of Players' Championship events, but a whole bunch of UK Open qualifiers.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of where a player's strengths and weaknesses lie.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can sort of look at it as if you were a financial advisor and say, you know, how balanced is your earnings portfolio?
Yep.
And where is it going in the future?
Yeah, exactly.
Because a year and a half from now, Rob Cross will have to defend 400,000 pounds ranking money.
Yeah, it's huge amounts, isn't it?
That could be a big shock to his place in the order of merit if he goes out in the second or third round.
Exactly, and the pressure, knowing that, is even more once you've done it almost, isn't it? Knowing that you've got to, you know, redo it again, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, players are well aware of how the order of merit works.
Yeah. And
they know, you know, what kind of consequences are going to happen if they don't follow up a performance 2 years ago with one today.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
In that respect, players are always looking back to how they did in the past, just as a reference for what they need to do in order to keep their career moving in an upward trajectory.
Yeah, definitely.
What we can take a look at is just to see how much of a player's current rankings total will phase out in the rest of 2018.
Okay.
For the income they made between July 2016 and the 2017 World Championship, that's all going to be gone in another 6 months.
Okay.
So actually, the majority of MVG's current ranking money was earned between July 2016 and January 2017.
Right.
So that's and by 50%, we're talking a solid 700,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's a lot of tournaments he'll need to win.
It is.
Obviously, he can do it, but it's the pressure is going to be on now. If he, you know, to stave off Peter Wright and Rob Cross getting any closer to him in his world #1 position.
Yeah.
He's going to have to start, you know, winning a lot of TV titles.
Yeah.
And then you can also look at someone who doesn't have that much ranking money to defend, and for whom the rest of 2018 could be a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Take a look at, say, Daryl Gurney.
Yeah.
He has only 19% of his order of merit total coming from the year 2016.
Yep.
So that's a great opportunity for him to build up his ranking money, trying to get a little bit closer to Gary Anderson and to Rob Cross, and to solidify his position in the top 10.
And I think Gurney's, just talking about him, I think he's probably due for a good one again soon, if I'm being honest, because his talent is unbelievable, isn't it? New dad, things are looking rosy for him, I think.
And we've also just seen Michael Smith win on the World Series.
Yep. So
obviously that's not a ranking event, but he's demonstrated that he can win on TV now. So that's a great omen for him, because especially because he's in a similar position to Gurney. Only 20% of his ranking money comes from 2016. He's going to have a great potential to break into especially the top 8, but maybe even the top 5.
Definitely.
Successful enough next couple of months.
His talent's there. I think for him, you know, with the Premier League this year, just shown the way he plays, and I think he's able to play now without, you know, he knows how to win, whereas before he'd give up. And I think he is going to be a top 5 player. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he don't go and win the match play or something. I think he's more than capable. Do you?
Well, I think he's definitely shown it, and he's probably at the top of the list for many people say to predict to at least reach the semifinals.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think, you know, there's no better time for him than right now to make a move and to get that much closer to the players at the very top. So he's got a great opportunity right now to really get a lot closer to.
His confidence is high, you know. Like I say, he's just won the Shanghai Masters. And I think it's only a matter of time. I think he's going to be one of these guys, when he do get his hands on one of the big ones, I can see him winning, you know, being another James Wade, winning a good 6-7 majors. He's young and he's ambitious. And he's just one that's got natural talent.
Yeah, obviously, MVG was no problem for him in the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah.
Lead 4 over MVG, you know, I'm sure that will give him a lot of confidence. He's got all the talent, he's got all the experience I think he needs now. So now's the time.
So, but absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you for coming on the show and talking about all the rankings. That really interesting. I hope that some of you viewers that have watched this, again, go across to the PDC website, have a look at Chris's article. It's all there. Loads of facts. Fantastic. So, thanks for coming on again.
My pleasure, Gav. Always a pleasure.
And for all you guys that enjoy my videos, please don't forget to turn your notifications on and hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you again soon. Bye.